Remember, remember the goals of November. It's VAR, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the VAR treason shall ever be forgot. The only verdict is vitiation, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day villainize the valueless and vile state of VAR.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brews and Banter, where we unravel the tapestry of football's finest moments with a dash of rebellion and a pint in hand. I'm your host, Redbeard, the voice in the shadows, and joining me in this footballing revolution is the indomitable Targo. Together, we guide you through this labyrinth of match week 11 in the EPL. So grab your favorite brew, settle into the shadows, and let the banter commence. Remember, remember the goals of November.
well, that makes for some excellent banter. But let's jump into it, man. Let's start with honestly, the game that was on Monday. It was a game and a half, if I'm being honest. It was Spurs hosting Chelsea.
The amount of time it took this game to be played was a game and a half.
Yeah, it was. So it ended 4-1 to Chelsea. I guess let's just dive into it. I mean,
yeah. Like, don't twinkle around it. Just head first. Let's go.
We're going head first. We'll start off. I mean, the game started out fantastic, wide open. Tottenham were buzzing that ball around. Chelsea were trying to press them, and it looked like Tottenham were just moving the ball around Chelsea. I mean, they got off the mark in the 6th minute. James Maddison played a lovely, wonderful crossfield ball to Sarr, who found Kulusevski down the right. Kulusevski kind of cuts it back, gets a very fortuitous deflection off Levi Colwill, but the ball goes in.
Yeah, I had to feel bad for Robert Sanchez, too, because the path that ball was going, I think he would have stopped it if it didn't take such a big deflection.
I don't know if I agree. Probably, you're right on that one. But this game was all Chelsea, man, or not Chelsea. It was all Tottenham for like 20 minutes, I would say, 25 minutes. And honestly, I thought it was 2-0. After Brennan Johnson plays a wonderful ball to Son, and he first time finishes it past Sanchez, but the flag comes up offside by maybe
I think it was like half his shoulder. Yeah.
That much?
It was not much.
It was tight.
And I will say, Brennan Johnson, man, what a breath of fresh air he is out on that left as opposed to Richarlison.
Your favorite.
Yeah. It's more dynamic. His passing is better. His runs are better. His dribbling's better. So, I mean, for Tottenham, they got a fantastic player on their hands. I will say that.
And so this is where I would say this next little piece of action is where the game really started to fly off the handles, so to speak. It was in the 18th minute. Destiny Udogie would find himself lucky to only get a yellow card for a 2-footed studs-up tackle on Raheem Sterling.
When you watch that and like pause it, like when he makes contact with the ball, it literally looks like he's sitting down with his legs straight. Like there's no... You can't see his legs at all. That's how 2-footed he went in on this tackle.
I will say, I think it was a deserved yellow. I'll agree with that.
Very similar to the Kai Havertz tackle that we'll talk about later. But I
would say the Kai Havertz tackle was probably a little bit worse just because he caught more of the player. Versus Udogie, he barely catches Sterling, maybe on the toe.
Yeah, but it's still 2-footed tackle. Like, you just don't do that.
But he doesn't catch the player, and he gets the ball.
Yeah.
He does get the ball.
He gets a yellow, and it's called a foul for dangerous play. So if he makes any more contact, you're right. That would have been.
If he actually caught Sterling full on, I think it would have been a red.
Straight red, and probably a melee on the field with the way this game was going.
Well, then it's Raheem Sterling, man, back in the action. Thought he scored in the 21st minute, but was judged to have handled the ball before scoring.
I think
kind of unlucky.
it is, but
kind of does a whole bounce between him and the defender.
Rule
hits his
of
arm.
law, off the defender's foot, right on his arm, next touch, ball goes in the net. So you cannot score off of a handball or put yourself in a better attacking position. So, yeah, good call by the VAR.
There's kind of a crazy series of events right before this no goal. It was Romero kind of gets pushed off the ball from Thiago Silva, strong tackle. It was fair. But then Romero kicks out at Levi Colwell.
Yeah, the ball's nowhere near him either. He is absolutely lucky not to get a red card for that because you cannot do that.
It was a frustration kick out for sure.
Seen
for
him
losing
get
the ball to Thiago Silva, but
we've seen him get red cards for it before.
So I guess it wasn't looked back, and for me, it's not a red. I would call it a yellow because there's not a lot of force behind it. It wasn't forceful, I guess, onto Levi Colwell. He definitely kicks out of frustration. Yeah. You can't do that. I would have said a yellow for me. But you think he should have got a red? Well, he does just a few minutes later, man.
This whole sequence of events between the Sterling goal and this next one, can't make it up, man. It was just nuts. So much going on. And I mean, good on VAR for picking it up, but holy crap.
So yeah, well, let's get to it. Sterling kind of dribbles into the box. Van de Ven has a little bit of a hack at him, but doesn't touch him. But Sterling goes over, And then the ball is kind of bouncing around. Romero clears it and goes through Enzo Fernandez. Studs high, catches him above the ankle. The ball bounces around for a minute, eventually falling to Caicedo, who finishes it.
Wonderfully.
But Nico Jackson was offsides, and he was deemed to have interfered with the play, as he kind of had to jump out of the way of the ball before it went into the net. So VAR was looking at that, the offsides. They called it no goal. But then they went back and were looking at that Romero challenge on Enzo Fernandez. Had the referee go look at it. Red card, penalty.
It was a picture perfect way for VAR to handle that whole situation. They look at it. Take your time so you don't get it wrong. Send Michael Oliver over to the sideline to look at it. And he deemed that was a red card offense. Do you agree?
Yeah, it was high. Reckless. His one saving grace is he gets the ball, but how much of Enzo he gets, man, is nuts, and it's high. And you can see it. Whereas his first one, his yellow card offense, on my opinion, wasn't very forceful. This one was. His wind up, his follow through. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, watching it, he could easily clear the ball. He did not need to follow through and essentially take out Enzo's leg. I mean, the studs were halfway up his shin. So
poor Argentina teammate too, man.
Golly, holy cow! Yeah,
I've said this in the past that Romero is a very aggressive player, and he is prone to these mistakes, these challenges.
Yeah,
because he likes that contact, man. But Cole Palmer would step up. Beautiful PK. Vicario got fingertips to it. Wasn't enough to.
He was so close.
He was close. He had a nice save right before that, though, Vicario, on Nico Jackson in the first half as well.
He had several in this match. Several.
And then as we continue into this first half, tied at 1-1, Spurs, man, probably lose their 2 out of 3 most influential players. Yeah. James Maddison, and this is at the same time. They both got subbed off at the same time. James Maddison gets hurt with what looks like an ankle injury. And then Van de Ven, man, you see him trying to put it into fourth gear there to sprint, and he pulls up with a hammy.
And the look on his face looked like sheer agony. I feel so bad for him, too, because I think if he's out for an extended period of time with the way Spurs play with that high line, I think his miss is much more detrimental to the way they play than James Maddison is.
Potentially. Like I said, 2 of their top 3, because I think Son would be their other support guy.
Yeah.
But so that leaves him with basically their backup center back says Romero's was out for this game, is gonna be suspended for the next 3, and then Van de Ven had to come off, and who knows how long he'll be out. So you had Eric Dyer
I would
and
say
Emerson
minimum
Royale
the
as your
rest of the
center
year.
backs. No, it won't be that long.
If it's a torn hamstring, they can be up to 4 months, man, depending on how bad the tear is.
That's not the rest of the year. I guess
the
maybe
rest of the
20,
calendar year.
2023 is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
not the season. But yeah, their center backs, Eric Dyer, Emerson Royale. And then Højbjerg came on for Madison. Rough. And then just before halftime, we had another VAR check. As Reece James kind of looks like he elbows Udogie. There's definitely an elbow there. I don't think it was malicious or anything. They were both jumping for the ball. Caught him. Nothing in it for me.
I think he's lucky not to get a card just because of how unnatural the position of his elbow is, because it's very, very high.
I would disagree. It's a very natural position when you're jumping.
Okay. Well, it is
trying to get that leverage.
Yeah. Anyways. That
VAR check higher. What can I say?
Yeah. I mean,
how long was all these VAR checks?
57 minutes for the first half. After 12 minutes of extra time, there was 17 minutes of VAR reviews, 4 disallowed goals, 3 subs, 2 goals, and injuries, and a red card and a penalty kick. All in the first half.
All in the first half. Yeah. Yeah, I think 12 minutes of added time is what they put on this one. Nuts.
I heard somewhere they only played 23 minutes of football in the first half.
And I wouldn't doubt it. So this is, I guess, this is what VAR is going to do, though. If you want every correct call to go, I guess the letter of the law, you're going to have these VAR checks that kill. Honestly, for me, it kills the game a little. Just being honest. Do I want them to get the right decisions? Yes. But taking 2-3 minutes, it kills momentum. It kills the flow of the game. And you could see that after that about 20th minute when we started having all these stoppages, the VAR checks for the red card, the penalty kick, the handball, the whatever, all of it. The game definitely suffered from a purist point of view.
Well, yeah, and I mean the players on the field.
As a neutral watching this.
You think of, as a player, stopping for that amount of time and then not getting properly warmed back up. It probably had something to do with Mickey Van der Ven's hamstring pull.
Potentially. I mean...
Or at least
I doubt it.
Set him up for failure in that department.
I don't think it did at all on that, no. Not these professional athletes with how much they train and everything. But the second half also did not disappoint in this game.
Not
in the 55th minute, Destiny Udogie would get his second yellow after a tackle on Raheem Sterling. Poor guy, he knew it, man. As soon as he made that tackle, he was just laying on the ground thinking, oh, shit, what did I do?
Yeah, head and hands, knew it the moment he did it. Spurs down to 9.
And Chelsea would pile on the pressure after this. You mentioned that high line. They were just trying to get through that pretty much. Højbjerg had to have a nice goal line clearance off of a very poor Nico Jackson header.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he had the whole goal and managed to hit it right at Højbjerg. I don't know how.
And then Chelsea would finally take the lead through Nico Jackson in the 75th after Raheem Sterling breaks the lines and gets behind the Spurs defense, squaring it for the easy tap-in, making it 2-1. But Spurs had chances in this game, man. Like, they weren't dead at 2-1. Like, I know that the score line is 4-1, but I don't think that does this game any justice at all.
I think, yeah, it doesn't do it any justice because 3 of those goals came in pretty much extra time.
Yeah. 2 of them did.
2 of them.
But, sorry. I mean, Spurs, they thought they equalized just 2 minutes later off of a beautiful finish from Eric Dyer.
Oh, what a first time.
Flicked header to him was offside.
First time, yeah. Not by much either. I thought initially that he was way offsides, but inches.
It was not, no. Nico Jackson would make it 3-1 in the 94th, so like you said, stoppage time, as Chelsea would pretty much go end-to-end after Son would have his shot saved by Sanchez. Good save. Chelsea go right down the other end. Gallagher with kind of a wonderful piece of individual play puts the ball across for Jackson for another tap in. And then he would complete his first Chelsea hat trick in the 97th after he was played behind Spurs' unsuccessfully high line. Dribbling around Vicario for a tap in. He had Mudryk right there next to him, kind of used him as a dummy.
Yeah. He should have had 5 or 6 in this one, let's be honest.
Easily. So yeah. That header, there's one. He had one in the first half. He had another one, I think, just after his second goal, where the ball just kind of fell out to him about 8 yards out, and he blazes it over in typical Nico Jackson style.
Right. Well, that's
but yeah,
5.
Man, this was...
Yeah, I mean, this match was crazy, man. 21 minutes of total added on time, 5 goals called back, over 20 minutes of VAR reviews, 33 fouls, 6 yellow cards, and 2 reds. Woo! It is nothing short of crazy.
It was, yeah, and like I said, man, this game, it started so well. Like, when it started and I saw both teams, just the way they were playing, going after it, I was like, ooh, this is going to be, a delicious match.
It's a tasty affair.
And it kind of got a little sour with all the VAR stoppages, but
hey,
I guess that is the game today.
VAR, the way it's been performing, I mean, it's damned if you do, it's damned if you don't. At this point, I'm glad they got the majority of the decisions, well, almost all of them right in this match. But we'll see. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Am I batshit crazy yet again?
Yes, you are. Yeah, make sure you guys let us know on our Instagram, Facebook group. Don't forget to follow our TikTok, YouTube,
maybe
subscribe.
Might just be his beer.
Hit the notification bell. Make sure to check out our Redbubble account. Get the merch, all your favorite Brews and Banter gear. I'm Targo. This is Crazy Redbeard with his power ranking picks, but we love you guys. Thank you so much. As always, cheers.
Cheers.